All right, I'm gonna go live. I've been up here doing some work and was on a live stream a few minutes ago. Thought I would just jump on my own channel and I'm looking for some drivers and everything, and so I thought I would get on here and see how everything's going, see if I can get a people to pop in on my channel and see what we can come up with. Hey Greg, how are you? I'm up here at my shop this afternoon. We've got a truck we're working on here and trying to get all the numbering and everything else. A new one we're putting another new one we're putting on. Hey Blake, how are you? Yeah. Hey Ralph, are you doing okay? Glad to see you in here. Hey Trucking OD. Yeah, you pop in. Just I'm waiting on somebody to help me move these trucks down the road. I got to take some down to Charlotte and then on over to they got to get them on down to Savannah, Georgia. So I'm doing that and seeing what we come up with. Hey Ag Tech, are you doing okay? Yeah, I'm how warm is it in Canada? Is it getting warm up there too? I mean, I know we're I know it's hot down here right now. Yeah, I'm trying to trying to just do a little bit of afternoon work here, and like I said, as you see, we got a truck here. This is another new one. We hadn't got it lettered up yet. Now we're getting ready to letter it up, and we're going over it, putting new airbags on it, and new brake chambers, and checking the tires, just doing all the necessary stuff. 23 degree. Well, convert that to Fahrenheit for me. I can't. I'm a Fahrenheit guy. I have no idea what 23 degrees Celsius is. That's probably somewhere in the equivalent of what about 80 degrees, 75, 80 degrees. Yeah, smash that like button for me. I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody helping me out, subscribing, smashing the like button and everything else, and try to grow our channel here as big as we can. I enjoy the community of guys that we've got, and I just try to keep up with them and just enjoy the camaraderie we have on this channel. I try to do that, try to keep a clean channel, try to keep a channel that people want to keep coming back to. And, I converse with a lot of different people on a lot of different avenues, primarily tools, trucking, those sort of things. That's what I know pretty much the best. Yeah, Blake, you're having trouble figuring that out too. It's tough. It's tough, and all that sort of stuff. I have to push my old hair up what little bit I got left of it. But I hope, is the signal coming through good, guys? I'm like I said, I'm up here at my shop running on the new Wi-Fi that we got. I can run it in, cable it in too, but I got the new Spectrum system up here, and I hope the sound and the video is coming through good. Looks good, does it? Okay, great. Hey, Yoda Doug. Hadn't seen you in a while. Nice and clear, is it? Oh, that's great. That's great. I need to get Yoda Doug. I need to make him a moderator. Let me see if I can do that with what I got here. Whoops. I did the wrong thing there. See if I can multitask here a little bit. I need to give Yoda Doug. There we go. Now I got Yoda Doug as a blue tool. I like seeing all the blue tools. That way I know most of the guys in here are repeat, and they're not do it. I thought I got. Hey, Rich Whitaker, how are you? From Raleigh. Okay, that's not too far away. I used to have regular runs down to Raleigh. I used to do a regular run every night down to Raleigh and met a guy coming out of Richmond, Virginia, and then we'd swap and turn around and go back. Yeah. Did I not get Yoder Doug? I thought I got Yoder Doug in there as a moderator. His didn't show up that time. No, I got him in there. It just, I guess he jumped back in there before it recognized it. Yoder Doug, I had to say something else there. Let me get back off my screen. There we go. There we go. But yeah, I'm trying to just get a few people in here tonight and chit chat and our trucks and everything. Like I said, these trucks, we're going through them. We bought I guess that's about the 20th one like this, and we go through it. We get it in. I mean, it's a Walmart truck. It's a truck that came from Walmart, and we'll get. Of course, we have to number it up and do everything for FedEx, and we put a pintle hook on it today, and the D-rings, new airbags, new brake chambers. I don't know if he's going to have to do any brakes or not. They'll check the brakes and see how the brakes are. Check all the tires. Just do a good maintenance of this truck. It's already had some maintenance done to it, but we go back over it and do what we call preventative maintenance. So, hey, Jim C., how are you? Yeah. If you were running a shop at UPS, you know exactly what we're talking about, Rich. Yeah, it's a lot cheaper to do preventative maintenance than it is maintenance on the road. I mean, we could have one airbag go out on the road, and it would probably cost me $400 or $500 to get it repaired. I can do it inside the shop. I can put all 4 airbags on the rear for just a couple $100, and so it's you go ahead and do that to prevent anything like that. And brake chambers the same way. Brake chambers cost us $50 a piece or whatever, 50 or 60. I don't know what it is. We go ahead and do that, and it's a lot cheaper. Hey, Brandon, glad to see you in here. Yeah, these are good fleet trucks. I like them. I mean, and that's, I'm a small fleet, so that's what, and we got all these, like I said. Well, hey, Josh, how are you? Yeah, well, we'll do that one time. I don't have it set up to do that. I'm just, Josh, I'm just on a regular stream tonight. I didn't use StreamYard, so I'm just straight into YouTube tonight. I was in a hurry. I was up here doing another live stream on another channel, and then I'd say, well, while I'm up here, I'm just going to go ahead and do this too. I'm waiting on Landon to get here, and we're going to take some trucks down to Charlotte. And we do that. We'll do that and try to get some things straightened out in our system here and everything. That's what we're going to be doing. Why don't I buy new trucks? Well, I have bought new trucks in the past, but I don't want to spend at my age. I don't want to spend. Well, let's see. I maintain about 50 trucks, so let's figure 160,000 times 50. You do the math. You tell me why I don't buy all new trucks. So that's pretty much it. And I got a shop. I have my own shop. I'll tell you one reason I do it like this. I watched a company called Carolina Freight that I used to work at grow. Now, they bought so many new trucks every year, and they bought so many used trucks each year. And I buy new occasionally. I bought a couple of gliders before they stopped all the gliders, and I bought 2 2016s. That's the last completely new trucks that I bought and that I got from Freightliner. But I mean, like I said, you're looking at, anywhere from 140 to 160,000, and I can take a truck like this that is well maintained, and they've gone through the warranty. Basically, they turn them in after the warranty. I'm taking the chance after that, but I maintain a shop, like I said, and I keep shop people employed because of that. And I buy these trucks at less than a third or more, a fourth of the price of what you can buy a new one for. Well, that 3/4 cost right there, well, I can spread that out with, like I said, 20 trucks. I mean, do the math. I mean, that's it, plain and simple, AgTech. I mean, do the math. I mean, and plus, you've got to be able to generate enough revenue too. I mean, any banker is going to look at you and they're going to go, well, XYZ revenue. This is what you're bringing in. This is what you've got. Either you're doing it in maintenance or you're doing it in buying and making the payments. Well, I don't like being over obligated. I mean, these trucks, even buying them used, when you're looking at buying 20 of them, that's a lot of money. That's like buying 20 houses, basically. And, I don't like buying 20 houses at one time. So that's the way I look at it. I mean, you figure if you go out and buy 20 trucks at $160,000, as like I said, you're basically, and then you're paying it back in 5 years' time, not 20. The average person can, hey, Everyday Fleet Tech. Yeah, it's real hard. Hey, David, how are you? Yeah, it's it's tough. What's the oldest truck that I have in my fleet? Probably 2007, 6 or 7. I've got a 2006, I think, and we're not running it. Well, I got a couple of single axle day cabs that are like 2006, 2007, but we're going to be moving those out too. FedEx is making us go to all these trucks that have the forward collision. You can't see it from here, but let's see if I can turn the camera a little bit. You can't see it from my fan, but they're making us go to all these trucks with the forward collision mitigation system on them, or they call them FCAM. And by doing that, we're putting a safer product out there, and by 2024, all trucks are going to have that within a FedEx system. I had to brush my hair down a little bit there, boys. Well, a little bit I got, but by doing that, that's an expensive proposition right there, and we are trying to do that as fast as we possibly can, because that and some insurance rates too. My insurance rates are sky high if I don't have that forward mitigation system on the trucks. So all the trucks that don't have that, I'm actually pulling off. So that's where I'm at right now in that situation. So it is what it is, and we do what we can afford. And you were talking about a while ago. I mean, okay. I'm looking at Laverne. Laverne's statement said she just shut my truck off. Oh, it was a long day, I guess. Okay. Well, Laverne, I hate that you had a long day. It's tough out there. Yeah, well, and that very thing happens Everyday Fleet Tech. We get into a situation, even with brand new trucks, they break down too. Especially with these DEF systems and everything. And we have we have learned how to work better with these DEF systems. We've learned how to, do better with them than the average Joe. Some guys get really frustrated with it. I've got the opportunity to get some help from some very knowledgeable mechanics, along with my mechanics, and I'm subbing out some work, and they've come to my shop and helped me, and we've got a pretty good system set up. Does any tool truck stop at my shop? No. I don't need a tool truck here. Like I said, I've been in business for through FedEx. I've been in business 33 years. So you would think in 33 years I've bought most of the tools, and plus I own a Napa store. I sell tools. So my guys, if they need tools, they go to my Napa store and they pick it up. I don't need, and if I need Snap-on or if I need Mac or whatever, I can get access to them. But I would not be a good customer for them because we have most of our tools. I've got 2 shops. I supply all the tools. So my guys don't have to buy tools. And so, no, I don't really need a tool truck coming by. We actually, I don't need my guys on a tool truck for 30 minutes, jibber jabbering about stuff either. We're in the trucking business. We do real truck work. And so, no, I mean, if I need something, I mean, I know the Mack truck dealer in this area. I know the Snap-on guy. I can give them a call. They can drop by and we can see what we can come up with. But I don't need to jump on a tool truck and look at screwdrivers. The latest thing they've got. We got catalogs of everything. You can go on the internet. You can find anything. So no, I'm just not a tool truck fanatic. If I need it, now I'll get it. And like I said, we owning a Napa, being a Napa dealer myself, I don't really need to do that. Well, I know it, and it's and people that are in the know, like Yoda was just saying there, Yoda Doug was saying, that Matco, some of these brands cross over, and of course, a lot of things that you'll get that are third-party things that Snap-on resells to you, or Mac or Matco will resell the items that are not made by them, and they're made by either Elkin or there's. What is the other brands? There's 4 or 5 different brands, and we carry them at Napa too. I carry a lot of the specialty tools over there. I carry, the tire tools. I carry the, just about everything that the Snap-on truck carries. Now of course, I've got a Carlisle brand. Hey, Walter, how are you? I just saw you in there. Yeah, I'm not. There's guys, I mean, I'm not trying to berate these guys that go out there and they buy the fancy boxes. I don't have fancy boxes either. A toolbox to me is a filing cabinet. Its primary function is to be a filing cabinet. Now, I know a lot of these guys, if you're working in a dealership and you want to have everything you own contained, locked up, and secured, I can understand it. I can understand it way more than like my shop environment here. These guys don't own the toolboxes. They don't own the tools. I supply everything. If they need tools, they can go to my Napa store and get it. If they can't, they can order it, whatever. So they have a little bit better situation like that. And I buy good toolboxes, not the fanciest. Some of them with I got a lot of Husky boxes. I got some channel lock boxes. I have 2 or 3 Snap-on boxes that I bought used. I didn't buy them brand new. I have actually bought guys out. There were like mechanics. I had a good friend that lived just next door to me until he moved recently. He retired as a mechanic and had 40-something years as a mechanic. And he came to me and he said, Mike, you need to buy my tools. And I told him, I said, Roger, I don't know if I need them or not. And he said, I'll make you a deal. And I went over there and he made me a deal that I couldn't refuse. It was expensive. I mean, the average Joe may have not have been able to afford it at the time, but I bid it off and bought his tools. Got a Snap-on box. I got a Mac tool box. I got all kind of specialty tools that he had actually sort of invented. Where it's something where he'd take a regular tool and turn it a special way and heat it up and make it so it's a specialty tool and stuff like that. And he would show me how he did it. He'd say, I did this for a Detroit, or I did this for a Cummins or whatever. And just ingenious. I mean, you'd be surprised how many older mechanics like that have made their own tools. Say they got a special way of doing something with a 10 millimeter or something. They'll get it and bend it, heat it, whatever, and come up with an idea and say, well, this is what I need. And he did. Roger was a very smart, intelligent guy like that. And I got some of his tools right now that the average person look at it and they go, why the heck is that tool like that? And it's something that he made. Everyday Fleet Tech, you take care. Lyle, that's another one. Yeah, you were talking about that. That's Lyle is one that we carry a lot of, and they got a lot of specialty tools. I was trying to think of that name just a minute ago. And there's a lot of things like that that are sold on the tool truck that we sell at our store. So the average person doesn't, like I said, especially somebody like me. I don't really need a tool truck here. I mean, the tool truck goes down to a shop right down below me, and that sort of stuff. But unless I really need it and feel like I'm dire need of it, I don't do anything with a tool truck. So that's kind of the way I look at it. Yeah, you're talking about that, something your grandfather, and those tools. I mean, that's like I say, the ones that Roger made. I value those because he put his heart and soul into designing it the way he felt like would be a good way of having a tool. And sometimes some of these guys have done stuff like that, and some of these tool makers have kind of looked at it and go, "Hey, we can change that, or we can do this. Let's invent this tool." I mean, think of all the wrenches that you see out there that got a special bend or twist to it or whatever, and can get into some particular angle that nobody else can. And that's what. Well, hey, Chris. No, well, you're about. I guess we're about 20 minutes into it. I was on another live stream, and I'm up here at the shop. As you can see in the background here, we got a truck in here. I was in the shop, and I'm waiting on Landon's supposed to come by in a few minutes, and we got to run some trucks down to Charlotte. Some more trucks we got to transport down to Savannah, Georgia. So that's what we're up against right now. And I've got to, I'm looking at another screen up there. So I got to do that. But it's I think that it's good when people can, the young guy getting out there. Wait a minute. What the heck? My phone is. Sorry about that, guy. I have no idea how my phone did that. My phone automatically started a video. But having like I said, having the opportunity to get tools is good for a lot of people. A lot of young people that maybe don't have an opportunity to get it in other ways. But I would never convince or try to convince somebody to go too far in debt with your tools. Now, if you have no tools and you can't get started in a job, of course, you'll have that obligation to go ahead and do that. But if you gradually build into it, and you may not have to have the best tool to start out with, as long as it's a good enough tool. And there's a lot of good imports and a few other things. Carlisle being an import. I'm not a huge proponent one way or the other with Harbor Freight. Some things Harbor Freight has is adequate. Some things that Harbor Freight has is junk. I don't care for everything they have, but if you're a young technician, I wouldn't say don't do some of that, because first off, you got to get a job. Secondly, you got to be able to afford some tools, and you don't want to break the bank. In other words, you could go out and you could buy maybe a set of tools as Harbor Freight or whatever. And then when you feel like you can afford maybe to get the Snap-on, replace it and that sort of stuff. But don't go out and get so far in debt. And these tool trucks will let you go in debt. And at 20% interest, they love it. I mean, Snap-on makes as much on the Snap-on financial as they do the Snap-on tools. I mean, they are actually a bank, more or less, because they're buying money at 3 and 4%, and they're selling money at 20. And when I say buying and selling the money, in other words, they buy it to produce the product and get it out on the market, and then they turn around and sell it to you at a 18 to 20%, depending on your finances. Some people can probably get a little bit better, but even the best of ones, if they're jumping on a tool truck and financing it through the tool truck, and they're running a tab. I mean, these guys, they're not letting you run a tab because it's free. They're letting you run a tab because they're making money on that money. And so you have to think about that, regardless of the quality of the tool. I mean, think about this. You're spending money on a quality tool, but it's high priced. And then you're going to pay double for it because you're paying their interest. So you've got to really don't get yourself behind the 8 ball. And that's what happens. Yeah. Well, that's a good philosophy there. You have no interest in interest. Yeah. Like JC Smith, and when JC's on, that's what he says. Well, hey, Renegade, glad to see you in here. But he says his payments on stuff, he writes one check, no payments. He writes a check, and that's it. And it's good to get into that situation. And for any new technicians, any young technicians out there, that's what I would advise them to do, is to not go too far in debt. And that goes for everything, not only as a tools are, even in these trucks. AgTech was asking a while ago about why didn't I buy new ones? Well, why I don't buy brand new ones is because of the cost. I don't, you can either pay for them straight up, or some guys, and maintenance is lower to some degree, but we have found with the newer trucks that there's still going to be a lot of maintenance costs because of all the EGR and the DEF and the things that we're having problems with now. So I kind of figure that I will go a little bit less from that, and I've learned how to circumvent some of those problems. So we look at it in that respect. We get the truck, we go through it and do a preventative maintenance. We have a preventative maintenance program, or we have a program when we buy these trucks. I mean, a lot of guys will look at it, they're all shined up, they're clean, they're pretty, and they boom, stick them right on the road. And a lot of you guys that have heard me talk before, this truck here, we had to take all the decals off. Well, not all of them. We took the ones they left on. We took off the some of the decaling. It's not detailed out. It wasn't painted. Well, hey, Ozman 34. What is the car brand? I don't understand what your question is. But the type of truck we get here, like I said, it's a good used vehicle that we look at, and it's not been painted up, as you can tell. I mean, this is clean, but it's not detailed. We'll go in and we'll do our own detailing on it. We'll make it look good before it gets out on the road. But I would rather it come in just bare normal, just right off the road. Maybe they washed it, and that's about it. And then we can look and we can see what's rusty. We can see what's cracked. I mean, these airbags, I can give you an example on this particular truck right here. Yeah, it will. That, like David said, interest will kill you. But just like this particular truck here, the airbags, had we had one that was detailed out, they would have these airbags sprayed good, looking good. And anytime you would look at them, they would look like brand new airbags. And then, boom, you get out on the road and one of them popping, and you're spending $300, $400, $500 getting something as simple as an airbag repaired. Because anybody that's ever had to pay for repair on the road will let you know right quick that will eat you alive. A tire, we put in a new tire on here, I have a little over $300 on them. We get a brand new tire on the road, you're looking $800 and $900 per tire by the time for just one tire. So I can put 3 tires on this truck for what one tire on the road will cost me. And then I'm able to keep all the casings that way. And then I'm able to turn in the casings and get money off the casings. So there's a lot of things that you can do by owning the shop, being able to do the preventative maintenance and staying ahead of the game. And well, hey, Josh, glad to see you back. But, these things are some of what we do. And I hope people like to hear what we do. And if you don't, buying new is easy. I mean, we could buy to our credit would run out. And you'll hear people out there that are buying new, and some of them have maxed themselves out. I never want to get into the avenue where I have maxed myself completely out. There's no wiggle room left. Because if you get into that situation that there's no wiggle room left, the first downturn of anything in the economy, freight, whatever the case may be, you'll find yourself almost bankrupt just like that. I mean, it doesn't take long to take somebody out by, overspending overspending is easy. Overspending is real easy. And I don't want to get in that situation. I really don't. So I try my best to stay within my budget and try to stay, I've been doing it for a long time and it's working. Let's say that. I'm not a huge organization. I'm pretty good size. I mean, I've got a pretty good size fleet. We're based in 3 different locations, and I've got around, we have about 40 or 50 trucks active on the road. And that's a lot of trucks to maintain, a lot of drivers to maintain. I have a number of spare trucks. So I always try to have, I rotate my trucks in and out. In other words, a person, we'll bring the truck in. We'll put him in a different truck and let him drive that while we're servicing or working on his or whatever. And we have enough trucks that we can rotate the fleet around, and that helps us a lot. So that's part of the my business strategy. And a lot of guys want to ask different things about what I am doing, and that's one of the things that we try to do. Yep, a penny saved is a penny earned, and I try to save as many pennies as I can. I mean, those pennies and nickels add up to dollars real quick. And I'm a penny pincher. I went to a sale. Chris, I should have put up the video. I got a video of the sale I went to the other day. I might have to show you. Chris is another buddy I hear, Outcast, that his channel's growing. And you want to see some great deals on auctions and stuff. Chris does it a lot. And he buys cars and trucks and fixes them up. He'll go to yard sales, farm sales, and I admire the young man that he is. He could almost be my son. he likes a lot of stuff that I like, so I like doing that. Yeah, I mean, financing in itself, I mean, it's a fine line as you're growing a business because you got to have working capital, and uh, you've got to have the working capital to be able to continue with your business. And you don't want to get down where you have to scrimp, and that every settlement check you get, you gotta pay out every penny of it, and you have nothing left at the end of the day. I mean, that's a terrible feeling. I've been in that situation before, so I'm telling you that from firsthand experience. I mean, not everything's been a bed of roses for me. I mean, I struggled like everybody else. I started with one truck. Then I got two trucks. Finally went up to three trucks, and but I had one truck and one driver, and it was me. And then I was able to put on a second truck and a second driver, and then I was able to step away from driving all full time for a while. And again, when I got up to 3, 4, 5 trucks, I didn't have to drive every day because I was getting into a managerial type thing then. But it is what it is on that, and I'm thankful that I've been able to get all the experiences. I wish I could, like everybody, tell you, I wish that I could go back and take the knowledge that I have now and transport myself back to the 30-year-old Mike, but I can't. So it is what it is. What's the higher maintenance? Well, the cost of the drivers is you've got a fixed cost with the drivers. I mean, you know how many miles they should run and everything else. So that's a fixed cost. That's the way I put it. Maintenance for the trucks are high, a lot higher now than they were 10 years ago, before all this DEF and all the EGR stuff came in. When that came about, that really changed the dynamics. It used to be that tires, turbos, and things like that were the big maintenance eaters. But now a lot of our maintenance is on the DEF and EGR and the regen systems. Those things work us to death. I mean, those add-ons that they made us starting in 2008 when they started that. When they started that, from 2008 now up to 2020, last 12 years have been hell to just to keep up with that, because now they are improving it. The first couple they had with the regen system didn't even have DEF in it. I don't think they made them all have DEF to about 2010, and they have improved them vastly as they've gone along, but they still are such a pain, and they're so expensive to repair too. That's the other thing. I mean, you're looking at a one box, which is the box that for the regen system. A one box is $11,000. So if you have if I got 20 trucks out here, and if I had 21 boxes to go out, I mean, you're looking at $250,000 in one item. And so you understand how critical and how expensive stuff like that is. And those things things like that happen. Now, fortunately for me, I've only had to replace a couple of the one boxes so far. I mean, of course, the one box only has so much life, but we're learning to, let's say, maximize and keep the system cleaner by some of the things we're able to do, and keep the life of the one box. We're able to extend the life of the one box a little bit better than maybe the average person. Well, hey, comfortable man. Hey, Philip. I'm glad to see you in here. Philip was on the other channel I was on a while ago. So you've seen me twice. Same background too, isn't it, Philip? I hadn't moved at all. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just up here at the shop hanging around. Like I said, I'm waiting on my buddy Landon. He's supposed to be showing up any minute now, and I'll have to get off then. We got to go take a truck down to Charlotte and have it ready for a driver to take it down to Savannah for me tomorrow. Well, how are you if it's not broke? How do I budget for repairs? Well, basically, you know, we figure that repairs is about 20 to 25%. Well, it depends on how you label repairs. I mean, I'm a big proponent of preventative maintenance. Preventative maintenance is way cheaper. So we pull in trucks and check the wear on them and go ahead and repair it way before a lot of people wait till it breaks. We don't always wait till it breaks. My head mechanic, Larry and Jim, that have been with me a good long while, they know when to start pulling things off. And you know that we're talking about how do we budget for repairs? Well, we have to budget a good bit for these DEF systems, for these EGR systems. They are expensive. They are very, very expensive, and they are taken up. Like I said, it used to be you worried about tires and turbos and everything else, and now these regen systems have crept in there, and they're taking a third of the budget of the maintenance, I would imagine, at least. I mean, because we're forever replacing a sensor on these systems. And like I said, of course, a lot of people say, well, why don't you delete it? Well, with the size I'm at, and because of the fact I'm working for FedEx, we can't get in there and do that, delete stuff. I've got to be able to adhere to all their contracts. I mean, I just came out of an audit just recently, and they go back and they check everything on us. They check on our maintenance. They check on how we pay our employees. They do everything. And so I just came out of an audit, and I'm just feeling the scalding from that right now, but came out pretty good. I thought I heard somebody coming up. But you know, that's well, you know, I'm trying to read. Well, that's for sure. Yeah, you got to watch drivers. Make sure that they know what the difference between a DEF and the diesel, and that will screw up things for sure. Hey, Jeff, how are you? Well, we keep a nest egg back, period. I mean, in whatever, you know, we try to. That's what I was saying a while ago about your money, period. I mean, I don't just basically put it back and say, well, here's maintenance. I'm not going to do anything else, and we're going to just have this for maintenance. But we do keep reserve money back in there. We have to make sure that we're not running dry. And I mean, some of it may be a payment on a truck. Some of it may be a payment on bills of different descriptions. You know, I don't just designate here's maintenance money and zone it off by itself. I mean, we've got a budget, and we know about what it takes to maintain our cash flow. I mean, it's a cash flow situation. You don't, you know, I look at it as total general cash flow, because I mean, there can be other things besides maintenance that come up that we have to go in and, you know, dip into the funds. And there may be some times where we need to buy some things. I mean, like the service truck. I got the new service truck over there. And hey, Mike, how are you? Glad to see you in here, Mike. Let me see if I can put Mike in I'll put him as administrator too. I like the guys. I know I've seen them on other channels and everything else. I like to add them in as moderators. Got you in there as a moderator now. Hey, Joey. Yeah, I've been on here a little bit. I'm kind of waiting out. I've got Landon Walker is supposed to be coming up in a little bit, and he and I are going to take some of these trucks down to Charlotte. So as soon as he gets here. We do that sometimes, David. We've actually, as a matter of fact, that truck was bought that way. That truck is not financed right there. That truck, we paid for it straight out. So yeah, that's a perfect example. I mean, you know, you can't do all of them that way. But there's certain times that when we're talking about cash flow and everything a while ago. Okay, you're about to take my T5 for the second. Your T5. Now, what is the T5? Or the tanker or the triples? I don't know what a T5 is. Any advice? The one advice is I don't know what a T5 unless that's triples. I mean, I know or is that triples, tankers? I mean, I don't have tanker endorsement. I don't have triples endorsement. I just got doubles or twin, or is that a twin endorsement? I don't know what T is. It's been so long since I've taken these tests. You have to understand. I don't know all the lingo on it anymore. Hey, Patrick, how are you? Yeah, we're doing fine out here. It's out here on a somewhat cool evening. It's a little bit warm here in the shop. As a matter of fact, I don't know if this fan will bother y'all, but I got a little fan beside me, and I'm gonna turn that on. Y'all can tell me, does that fan make too much noise? I got a wired mic, so hopefully it won't. I turned on my fan here at the shop. It blows right here beside me. I hope that's not too noisy. Laverne, what kind of truck do you have? I don't know. I mean, each truck has a different thing. Now, the extended warranty, okay, I don't know if I'd get an extended warranty. If you got a good warranty, run that out. And only time I would want to get, well, if a lot of times they'll offer you that extended warranty, even up close to getting out of it. Is that a one-time 3,000? I'm curious. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I like I said last time it was 19 when I had to get my twin endorsement was in 1987. So you can understand it's been a while since I've had to get a twin endorsement. And prior to that, I got my chauffeur's license. They were called chauffeur's license when I first got them, Class A chauffeur's license. I got my first set in 1971. So or is it 1970s? Either 70 or 71 is when I got my chauffeur's license. I tell you how far back it was. We didn't even have pictures on them. Just had my name, my address, my driver's license number, no picture. And then it wasn't until I got my second time with the chauffeur's license that I had to have a picture put on. They had just started putting pictures on them then. But my first couple of driver's license had no picture on them whatsoever. That's how old I am, guys. Yeah, and you got to, like I said, some of these warranties are funky. I'll tell you this. I bought a brand new, I used to buy some Macs. I had some Mac Visions, and I bought one. It was really fancy, really decked out good. And the guy, when he sold to me, he said, "Oh yeah, you got a bumper to bumper warranty." Of course, it doesn't have anything but a front bumper, but he said, "Oh, bumper to bumper." In other words, front to rear warranty on this truck for the first 100,000 miles, I believe it was. Well, I hadn't had the truck but about probably 2 months, 3 months, and something, I forgot what it was, broke. I can't even remember. And I took it in, and then they called me and said, "Well, your bill is XYZ." I said, hold on a second. I said, "I thought I had warranty." "Oh no, that's not warranty." And then I went up front to the dealership, and I got the salesman. I said, "Come on back here with me. Show me between bumper and bumper why this part is not covered." And they said, "Oh, well, that's just regular maintenance, and you didn't read the fine line." I said, "No." I said, "I remember and written on the contract, bumper to bumper warranty." But they got bumper to bumper warranties, but with exclusions. So you have to watch every one of those. So everything is if certain things go out, they will not pay it even under warranty. So you have to watch that. And same way with these extended warranties too. These extended warranties can get really tough, and don't always trust the extended warranty, because trust me, they are in there to make money. They're not in there to spend money. So if you paid $3,000, it's tough. Yeah, JC's in here. Yeah, you should have been in the part about the financing. I was telling, your ears must have been burning, JC. I told him, I said, yeah, JC has the old slogan when people come up to him and buy equipment from him. They said, well, how many payments? And he says, one. Yeah. Hey, kid, how are you? Yeah, I'm gonna do some trucking this evening. I've got, like I said, I'm waiting on my buddy Landon's supposed to be here in just a few minutes, and he and I are gonna take. I think I may have heard a car door shut. I think I see him driving up here. I'm talking bad about you online here, Landon. Yeah, come on in here. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. All right, guys. Here, what? He's so damn tall. I'm gonna tell you that. You see, let me move the camera. Landon's 6'6", 6'7", so he's so tall. Oh me, let me move it. I had to get him in on the camera. Yeah, I'm on live. Yeah, I'm on the. But this is Landon Walker, guys. Some of the guys have heard me talk about him. He fuel man for the 24 car.
That's right.
He can get those big 13-gallon fuel tanks up, and yeah, he's gonna. We're teaching him how to drive trucks. Right. He's been driving a truck now for a while. He's one of these first days he'll be out of NASCAR, so he wants to have a cushy job like I got.
That's right.
He wants a cushy job like I. Yeah, but yeah, we're gonna get it. Yeah, hey, they got started. Yeah. Jim and them already put the numbers on that one. Well, I had to get James to get the decals, so, but we'll get it going. But yeah, we got Landon. He's coming into the business. He will be the head guy in my trucking business one day. Once we get him out of NASCAR, he's going to do that. And his wife Christy is already our. She's the backbone of us right now. She's helping a lot on everything else. As she's working hard, and he's working hard. He's working hard being a daddy. He's keeping her barefoot and pregnant right now.
That's right.
And all that sort of stuff. Well, guys, I'm gonna get off the podcast. I've got he and I have got to go on down to Charlotte, so I've enjoyed having everybody on here, waiting on him to get here. So I kind of killing two birds with one stone. So on race day, look for this guy. Of course, you can't see him because he's all covered up. But when you see the 24 car, this is the kid doing the fuel.
That's right.
So
we'll have to get on here together sometime and do a little show or something.
Yeah, we'll do a show one time when Landon has a little more time. But right now, we're going to use him to drive. He's actually got his CDLs and everything, so he's going to drive one of the trucks as we go down to Charlotte. So I'll see you guys, and we're going to head on.
See you guys.
Okay, bye. Do what? Oh yeah, we got it going. Let me get off here right quick. I got to end the stream. See you guys.